When was Bendel State created? When was Midwestern State created? And then when was Edo State created? To compare to the age of a land. Even before there was a place called Benin today, the Proto-Igbo speaking people in Eka have been living there for generations, centuries. And Eka land is way older than where you call Benin today. The place we call Benin today is not more than 800 years old. Popularized in the 16th century even. The era of Benin, where you had the Godomigodo era, had all people of different ethnic nationalities living there, including Igbos. The place you call Udo, does Udo have any meaning in Benin language? The people in Udo, are they not tracing their origin back to Ubuluku and to Yoruba land? Is Udo not the heart and foundation of Benin today? The place we call Udo, is that not the heart and soul, the foundation of Benin of today? So what will the Igbo speaking people in Edo do when they finally discover that Oromia has invaded your place, instituted a monarchy, and then set up and then there was crisis, Ayidu in Oba, and people ran away? The ones who stayed behind are no longer Igbos. Thank God even that they retained their Igbo language. You would have said, oh, now you're saying their language was influenced. And for more than these 800 years, they have failed to influence your own language. Really? So we should just forget about them because they have been carved into Edo State. When we were in Midwestern State, were you not conveniently calling them Igbos? When we became Bendel State, were you not still calling them Bendel Igbos? Was it not because of the distance it took them to travel from Igbanke to Abo to attend meetings of traditional rulers that made them to say, no, let's be attending this one that is closer to us? Is that why they now started, you now turn it to say they are now paying homage to you? When I read this letter, I laughed because I was hoping to see where these 6 chiefs will mention one place that you are saying the Igbanke people migrated from. They cannot mention where they migrated from in the eastern homeland. That is why you say they are not Igbos. But you cannot mention where in Benin that they migrated from. And I have mentioned where in eastern homeland that they have relationship with. I've mentioned Mbiri. Any Igbo person who is watching this knows where Mbiri is in Igbo land. Let me mention Onije. Onije is another ancestral quarter and lineage in Ubuluku. The same way Udo is in Ubuluku, that is how Onije is in Ubuluku. When I'm saying Ubuluku, it may look confusing to the new generation. Let this new generation go to the older one and ask any of your ancestors or parents who are alive, where is Ubuluku? Who was Ezemu? What is the relationship between Ubuluku and Benin? Why does the Oba of Benin have to go to Ubuluku to complete his coronation? So, if you are saying their DNA is Igbo, their DNA is Benin, have you tested any of them? I've gone live with one of our Igbanke brothers. I will share the video on this link so that people can watch. And people were saying we look like twins. We are not related in any way. I've not met him before. So what is genetics that you're doing with mouth, that by ancestry, by DNA, by mention the community that you are saying they migrated from as a chief who should be versed in history. When I'm mentioning that people are from Igbo land and they are in Edo State, I mention where they are from. When I said the Okumbo family, I should mention where they are from. They are from Onichope in Ubuluku. When I mention a people, I mention where exactly they are from. I expect a chief to be doing that too. That is what I expected of our respected chiefs of Benin Kingdom. I just read a 3-page letter where you claim that Igbanke people, 3 communities in Igbanke, very large communities, are from Benin. Where in Benin are they from? You cannot mention one. But I have mentioned for you where in the eastern homeland Mberi people came from. Where in the western Igbo land the Onije people also came from. Where Udo, the most ancient lineage and settlement in Benin today, came from. Part of Ubuluku, and then the other part in Yoruba. What is the meaning of Udo in Benin language? I'm waiting for somebody to reply me, anybody from Benin to reply me, because I've seen a lot of nonsense online. I have been keeping quiet until I saw from the palace that somebody from the palace has, 6 chiefs from the palace joined heads together to write nonsense. After the 6 letters were published, not a single proof that this is where these people are from. I expected this letter to state that a certain man, you mentioned the man's name, you can give him any Benin name, it can be Osage or Saro, any name you would like, give to the man, migrated from, you mentioned Owoto or any of your places and founded so place and started living there. Then I'll take you seriously. Not that they all came from Benin. Where in Benin? And then they came from Benin and their language changed because of interaction. A very, very big lie, which you people have continued to do. How many years will you continue to lie? When will you change from these lies and start telling yourselves the ugly truth? I'm saying that ndị Yoruba swa bi n'enu ani, ai kpọwe ndị odi ani, ndị Yoruba na-esoga ebi eketani karịa mgbe asọ 400 500 years ndị Yoruba na-eswa ebi anọrịrị wasu Yoruba till tomorrow. I wish I can find a video of these Yoruba people and play it for us. They are living in Enuane and they still speak their Yoruba very well. I must play this video.
If I want to see why we need to know one and a half one and for to be mugbe oruko Yorùbá we cook back we for enoka. He our ben he to hana need e wan be asen. Ya wan ele ni to ni who have one now before I learn nara oya aroha. Sawa tole our ba iwan gboro nle nara iya lórúkọ Jésù. I am Prince Adebowale J. I'm the secretary to the palace of the Oloza of Ugbodu Kingdom. Where I am now today is Ugbodu. Ugbodu is an Olokomi speaking community in Anyocha North local government area of Delta State. According to history, Ugbodu Olokomi speaking people, they migrated from Akure and Owo between 9th and 11th centuries AD. They settled in Benin briefly. That was during the reign of Ogiso Owodo, the last Ogiso of Benin Kingdom. According to history, we were made to know that Ekaladeha was the heir apparent to the throne. Due to jealousy from other wives, they said they consulted Oracle because things were not moving well with the palace. They consulted Oracle and took him away to be executed. It was after that the old Olokomi speaking community decided to leave. We have all of us that have reigned in Ugbodu bearing Yoruba names. The first one I guess is Adetola. We have Aderemi. From there we have about 5 or 7 Yoruba speaking Yoruba names as all of us. Before Edo, after Edo, we have names that all of us that bore Igbo names. Like you have Oche, who is my grandfather, DK Esinyemeze, and the present one is Oloza Ayo Esinyemeze. So you can see the names. We are trying to get back to our roots. Some time ago, they have the Old Kumi Bible, because we are trying to get back to our roots. The ones that maintains the language to date now, we have Ubodu, we have Eko, otherwise known as Ukunzu. Though for me, I don't believe in that name Ukunzu, because somehow I seems they are deviating from, though they pardon me for saying that, they are trying to deviate from their own origin, because Uku means is an Igbo name.
I hope you've heard how people who migrated from a place are. These Yoruba speaking people migrated from Yoruba land. They are from Ekiti. They stayed in Edo State, in Benin. When they said Ekala they had problem with his brother and there was quarrel and one of them was buried. So they said if their own brother can be buried like this, what will now happen to them who are even strangers? So they ran away. They fled and found themselves among us, the Igbo speaking people. Until today, they are still speaking their Yoruba very well. The man who just talked, his name is Adeyemi Ochei. So he has now combined an Igbo name and the Yoruba name. Adeyemi Ochei. That is his name. He spoke from the palace of his community. He is from Ubodu. There are more than 5 communities in this Yoruba speaking area. We have Okonzo, we have Ubodu, we have Idumogo. They are up to 5. And they are still speaking Olukumi. That is the Yoruba language. How do you now mean that people left from Benin to Benin and lost their language? The attempt by some self-styled individuals parading themselves as a Igbanke element to turn history on its head with respect to the palace of Igbanke people in the Benin history. More concern is their false narrative and claims that they are Igbos without pointedly identifying their roots in Igbo land. Against the background of this false narrative by these ignorant and unscrupulous persons, it is therefore important to set the record straight and to state unequivocally that the Igbanke people, who are known to be enlightened and very hardworking ethnic community in Edo State, have their ancestral links with the Benin, even though over time their language have been influenced by their location and interaction with other ethnic groups from Delta State, particularly the Ika speaking people. They are historically and genetically Benin, whose ancestors have constantly paid homages to the Oba of Benin, on whose traditional land they inhabit. How rational is that? How logical is it? All these lies should just stop already. From a palace, such lies emanate from a palace. You claim that these people are saying they are Igbos, they cannot prove where in Igbo land they came from. Now you are claiming they are from Benin, but you cannot prove where in Benin they are from. And so all these lies should just stop. Allow our brothers in Igbanke to have their peace and have their self-determination. Allow them to have their kings. You cannot appoint somebody from Benin to come and rule over Igbo people. Unless you want rebellion, and you will have that rebellion. You will have that rebellion. You are saying they are peace-loving people. That peace-loving will not continue. If you want rebellion, continue this process you are trying to initiate of appointing a chief in this modern era to come and rule over Igbo-speaking people. All of una get Costco. Una head no correct. Kindly share this video. Kindly share this video. Let it get to them very well. Because I've seen videos from different names of their blogs. I don't want to glorify them by mentioning them here because I'm addressing the palace. As a prince from my own community, I am addressing the palace. That such nonsense letters should not emanate from the palace. Such letters that does not have proof, facts should never emanate from any palace. It is a nonsensical letter. It is a letter that lacks merit. It is a disgraceful letter to come from a palace, and it was signed by 6 chiefs. The title of the letter states that Igbanke people are from Benin. And in the body of the letter, you analyze how they are claiming to be Igbos, but they cannot prove where in Igbo land they are from. You are laying a claim now that they are from Benin and they are your brothers. They just lost their language because they live closely with the Ika people. But you cannot prove where in Benin they came from or who is even their ancestor that migrated away from Benin. If I can tell you who my own ancestor that migrated away from Yoruba land, I'm an Igbo man, but my own ancestors are among the Igbo speaking people that lived in Ife before he came down to my community. If I can know his name and the name of his 4 siblings, what stops you from knowing the name of the people who left Benin to Igbanke just 2 days ago? I can call it 2 days ago because if you are claiming they left Benin of yesterday, that means the Igbanke should be 2 days ago. So you should tell us the name of your brothers who left Benin to go and found Igbanke. Kindly share this video, please, and give us a thumbs up. Kindly share this video, please. Kindly share the video if you can. Please share this video. Also support what we are doing if you can. Feel free to do so. What we are doing requires a lot of effort mentally and a lot of effort financially. Igbo asino nulube nwanne ya agba n'ọsọ. These people are our brothers. These people are our brothers. In any way you can support them, even if it's with just your share, your like, your comment, and not discouragement. They are not denying their Igbo identity. If they had denied their Igbo identity, we'll leave them alone. We're not begging anybody to be Igbo. We're not begging anybody to be Igbo. Iyago, bumiri n'obodo nsibia. Aso weni iyago ade jimiri amado aba. So we are not begging anyone to be Igbo, but we are embracing those who have identified with us as Igbos. And when we embrace them, we don't let go. When we embrace those who have accepted their identity as Igbos, we don't let go. This is why, once again, I want to thank the leadership of Ohaneze Ndi Igbo for not remaining silent, for speaking up in support of our Igbo brothers in Igbanke. The President General of Ohaneze Ndi Igbo, distinguished Senator John Azota Mbata, who published a letter of solidarity with the people of Igbanke, so that if the palace thinks this nonsense that they published today will fly, we can take it up with them to any point that they want us to take it up to. We will do so. We will do so, because the letter I read is just a disgrace. Disgrace that is coming from a palace to call a king a nige. A nige in their language is chiefs. That these people are chiefs. That they are not kings. So only their own. Only their own is the king. Other people's own are chiefs. If you ask them the reason, they say because they pay homage to them. Okay. If it's about homage, I will also show you a picture of their own Oba paying homage to the king of my own community. If it's about homage that you use to determine who is whose leader and who is the subject, their kings also pay homage to our own palace. Does that make the Oba of Benin a subject to the Obi of Ubuluku? No, it doesn't. It doesn't make him a subject. He just paid homage, a diplomatic visit. That's what is best. It is best called, not a homage. A diplomatic visit. That is what it is. not Homage. Look at the picture of the Oba of Benin visiting the Obi of Ubuluku in 1982. This is one of the visits. When Oba of Oranwen was also chased out of the palace by the British. By the way, it took the British over 31 years to conquer the western Igbo land, but 3 days to chase away the Oba of Benin, the mighty kingdom that claims to be an empire. When he was chased away, he also ran to Ubuluku, stayed for 2 nights before they discovered he was in Ubuluku, and sent soldiers again to Ubuluku, and then they took him to Calabar. These are the people you call chiefs. You can't call our king chief here, because the picture I just showed you, our king was more gloriously dressed than the Oba, and both of them sat on the same seat. Our king sat here, he sat next to him in a smaller chair. That was a diplomatic visit. If I am deceitful, I will call it your king came to pay homage, because they usually come. It is only this one, Obaewu II, who has not visited my community, and for obvious reasons, because my own community has its own kingship struggles. These are the palaces that they claim are Eniges. The royal palace of Ezake of Igbanke, they declared that one an Enige, and he said, no, I am not an Enige. What is the name of the king? His name is His Royal Highness Chukwueku Armstrong Timothy Ibinoba. Chukwueku Armstrong Timothy Ibinoba. The next one is the Palace of Ezomolua of Igbanke. His Royal Highness Edobo Owaifo. Palace of the Obi Ota of Igbanke. His name is His Royal Highness Dr. Julius Chukuyem Isito. You can hear their names. These are their names. But when you hear their language, you will understand how Igbo they are. Or when you live in their midst and see them practice the Igbo culture very well. I want to thank everyone who joined this live broadcast. And I want to encourage you to please support us by sending us digital gifts. You can give us super thanks here. You can share our video. You can also comment. You can also give us a thumbs up. These are ways you can encourage what we are doing. I expect you to share to your own audiences and groups, so that this message will get to them, that the kings of Igbanke, the Obis, the Ezes of Igbanke are not Enige, they are Eze. And then if the palace of the Oba of Benin released a letter to claim that these ones are just claiming to be Igbo, that they are not Igbo because they cannot trace where in Igbo land they migrated from. You, in your letter, have not been able to tell us where in Benin that you say they migrated from, or who their ancestor is. You see, lies have expiry date. Every lie has an expiry date. And the lies of Benin Kingdom are beginning to expire one after the other, one after the other. The Oba should just retain his respect within the territory that he governs and not try to lose it in the entire nation, because that could also be arranged. He should not lose respect. He should just retain the respect he has. How do you wake up one morning and say you have suspended 3 kings of 3 different communities and you want to appoint a chief? In which century? Do you think we're in the 16th century? When the Europeans will come and give you weapons to say, okay, go and conquer this place. We'll give you we'll give you Oshu. This is not 16th century. This is the 21st century. And people are wiser. People are no longer the way you think they were. If you have described the Igbanke as a peace-loving people, treat them as a peace-loving people by not trying to poke your hands into their eyes. alụtezie ndị Igbanke aka n'anya alụtezie ndị Igbanke aka n'anya shatowe ka isi hụwe. And lastly, stop threatening the people who are promoting Igbo unity. Stop threatening Nnamen Chukwuemeka. Stop threatening Almighty. Stop threatening Deputy Jesus. Stop threatening Igbo Kainebi, Onyenwe Mmadụ. Stop threatening all these people that are promoting Igbo unity. And of course, none of you can threaten me. You cannot. None of them can threaten me. I'm just telling you to stop threatening these ones. Stop threatening them. They are people we are so proud of. One mari one webo. What's your ekwa okwa mune? When Madkane is an Ikaman, but he's Igbo. I am an Enuane man. Being Enuane, I am from Anyocha. Being Anyocha, I am from Obolo. Being Obolo, I am from Obunuku. Being Obunuku, Amoya Bonta. Being Abonta, Abumomo Bi Ojukobi. It takes royalty to identify and relate with royalty. I am royalty by blood. Generations of blood of royalty. So when I see a king attempting to insult the sovereignty, the throne of another king, I feel bad about it. I speak up about it. So the Oba of Benin, with all due respect, should please call your chiefs to order. These 6 chiefs that put heads together. I know they say 2 heads are better than 1, but 6 heads here could not even make a single sense in an entire letter. You could not point out the single reason why you discredited their Igbo origin. You claim that they don't know where in Igbo land they are from. Where now in Benin land are they from? You don't know. Because you just want them to be one of you. You just want to have number. My lovely brothers, thank you, and sisters. I know there are few women who follow this channel. Thank you once again for subscribing to this channel. This is Enuane Cultural Forum. I will continue to promote Igbo unity and identity. Do have a very pleasant sleep. I wish to end this live broadcast. So, I'm begging you to please share our videos, engage with our videos, share our channel to your group, your friends, your audience. Go no bueno akpa nkata nye gbasa na Enuane, nye gbasa na Igbo, nye gbasa na ọdịnala Igbo, na omenani na ọdịnala ndị Igbo. Dalone. Also support our channel by sending us superstar, viewing our videos, sharing them, and subscribing if you have not subscribed. Thank you, and do have a very pleasant month of May. Konwa May ni mekwa yo humao. Nkwa ahụ kwa ọmụa ka ahụkwa ike jelu ike nye enu egbutue. Ụkwụ ya ma tụfukwa isi anyị o. Anya ya ma hụ ntị anyị. Daalụ dị.